right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to work on recognizing a digit represents 10 times the value of what it represents in the place to its right. So many of you have been taught by your parents that when you have 2,000 and we multiply it times 10, all you have to do is add a 0. So your 2,000 becomes 20,000 because I added a 0. But the reason that we are doing this video is because we need to understand the question why. Why does that always happen? And that goes to our wonderful place value chart. So, in this place value chart, when we are labeling it or creating it, we always start with the ones column, and then the tens, hundreds, and I'm going to abbreviate because there's not a lot of room, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, and millions. Now, some people have the misconception that you go straight from thousands to millions, but that's not the way it works. It goes up into the groups of 3. So thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, and when you get to millions, it's going to be millions, 10 millions, 100 millions, and then you'll go to billions. So it always groups in 3, and that's how we know where to put our commas at, because you have a comma right here because when you read it, you say thousand, and you have a comma here because when you read it, you say millions. So now, with that being said, we're going to answer the first question. Now, the equal sign, I always think of it as a balance. So whatever's on this side of the equal sign has to be on this side of the equal sign, or it's not equal. So think of a balance like a weight. If you put one 5-pound weight on one side, then you have to put another 5-pound weight on the other side, or it's not going to level out. So if I have 10 times 2,000, we're going to start with 2,000. And I'm going to put my 2,000 right there in my thousands column. And then I'm going to multiply by 10. And you should have learned how to do a raise in 3rd grade. So you have 2, so that means you need 10 rows of 2. So there's 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, 4 rows, 5 rows, 6 rows, 7 rows, 8 rows, 9 rows, and 10 rows. So you should have 10 in this row and 10 in this row. So you can always go back to double check if you need to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that is exactly what we need. Because now for this side of the equation, I have 10 times 2,000s because I'm in the thousands column. How many thousands will that equal? Well, this is a row of 10 and this is a row of 10, so that means there's 20 thousands. So I'm going to put 20 right there for 20 thousands. And what will that be equivalent to or equal to? Well, if I have a group of 10, then that group of 10 can move to my 10,000s. And so this 10,000 equals 1 10,000. This 10,000 equals 1 10,000. So I have 2 10,000s or I can even go and write it in the standard form because this is unit form. I can write 2 10,000s right there, and that's also equivalent. Because here's the thing, when you move 2,000s one place to the left, you're multiplying it times 10. So that's the reason you get equivalent. And that's how we would answer number 1. Now moving on to number 2, we're not going to go ahead and do this, but you would do it in the same method because I really want to keep the video shorter and I want to get down here to the division one. So we have 4, first, I'm getting ahead of myself, 1s, 10s, 100s, 1000s, 10,000s, if you need to pause the video, feel free to pause the video to be able to keep up or write this or create the place value chart. All right, so we've listed our place value chart up to the millions again. Now remember, thinking about the balance, whatever's on this side is going to have to be on this side. So if I have 4,000, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I need to divide them by 10, well, that means that I need to unbundle this 1,000. So this 1,000 is going to come over here and create 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This 1,000 is going to come over here and create 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This 1,000 is going to come over here and create 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This 1,000 is going to come over here and create 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, since I've unbundled these, they're not here anymore, but it's equivalent. So 4 thousandths is the same as 40 hundredths. 40 hundredths, but am I ending at 40 hundredths? I have to divide that by 10. So if I'm going to do that, I'm going to put 40 hundredths here and divide it by 10, because when I divide that by 10, it's actually going to be 4 hundredths. And this is where I lose most people. Most kiddos get lost, because if I put these in groups of 10, I have this group of 10, I have this group of 10, I have this group of 10, and I have this group of 10. So how many groups do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 groups of 10. So it's also written in standard form like 400, but 400 is still the same as 400. Now, for the parents out there that might be getting confused because you're trying to help your student, if you think about this, and I'm going to go over here right to the corner. If we have 4,000 and we divide that by 10, like we did, this is long division, which we will get into at the end of 4th grade year, but 10 will not come out of 4, but 10 will come out of 40. So my 4 goes up there, 40 down here, subtract, I have 0, bring down a 0, it will go 0 times, and I'll have to bring down the other 0 and it'll go 0 times. So it checks to be 400. But this is the one that gets so confusing, because we're still dividing by 10 in this equivalent equation here. So that's the reason it still needs to be 40 hundredths, because you need to be able to divide that by 10 to get the next one. So it is a little bit confusing. The more you practice on these, the better they will get. If we flip it over, we have wonderful, wonderful word problems on the back. Let's see, let's just pick one randomly. Let's pick 6. Jacob saved $2,000 bills. So as I'm doing this, I'm thinking through it. So if it's $2,000 bills, I'm going to go ahead and write the standard form right there. $400 bills and 6 $10 bills to buy a car. The car cost 10 times as much as he saved. How much does the car cost? Now there's a couple different ways to be able to do this. You can draw the place value chart and multiply by 10. So you can draw out the place value chart. If you want to go this way, and we only need to go to thousands, but I'm going to go up to 10,000s because when I multiply by 10, so you've got the 2,000 here, you've got the 400, you've got the 60, and I know when I multiply by 10, like how we started, if I multiply by 10, that means you're going to come over here if I multiply by 10. This number will come over here if I multiply by 10. this number will move up to the next place value, and then my 0 would also fill in. So that means it would be 24600 is how much the car would cost. So the car would cost $24,600. And that's how you would answer that equation.